Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers Masterpiece review. Thanks to the guys over at Robot Kingdom. Today I'm bringing you the MP-22 Cybertron City Commander Ultra Magnus. First of all, let's take a look at the box. I'm really glad we got these really big chunky boxes again. Loved it with Soundwave, love it with this guy. You've got your Takara, Tomy logo at the top there. If you go around to the side, we've just got the basic text. Going around to the back of the box, we've got Magnus in a rather dominant, commanding pose. You've got the actual size of Magnus, so if you go into a store and you see this box, you can bring in your smaller Masterpiece figures and just square it up and see how it stands. And then we've got the various things that come with Magnus. We have his Super Blaster Gun. We have the ability to put the Matrix in his chest. He also comes with a set of Matrix hands, both left and right. They're slightly different to his normal hands. They're basically sculpted to hold the Matrix. And we see him here in his vehicle mode with the other Masterpiece figures on his back of his cab. We then learn that you can also slant it down so they can roll up and roll down like they did in the G1 toy. We also get Daniel and Spike with this. I've seen some close-up images of Daniel and Spike prior to this on the Robot Kingdom website, and they're a little bit lackluster. And for some reason they've given Daniel childbearing hips. But we also have the very, very cartoon-accurate red bumper, which I know a few people are a bit like, oh, I don't like the red bumper, I don't. But it is cartoon-accurate, and it really does look good. And another thing we get, which isn't mentioned on the back here, is the face plate as well, which is the screaming face. Looking on the side, again, it's just the Masterpiece logo. On the top, we have Magnus in a rather nice pose with his gun. And on the bottom of the box, we have various text there. And again, we have what's included in the box. I have no idea what half of that means. I'm sure somebody out there could tell us. And let's not forget the collector's coin that comes with Magnus as well. Again, really, really nice touch with this one. It opens up, it's the front of the cab there. That's his chest section with the windows. Pop that up, and that is a really, really nice coin. Probably one of the best coin folders I've seen from them, actually. It's really, really nice. The coin itself is fantastic. Love the kind of crotch section, isn't it? Although, is it just me, or is the crotch section here the right way round? This is very, very G1. But actually, when we look at Magnus, it looks upside down. Without further ado, let's crack him open. Whoop. And there he is out of the box. We get a really nice instruction manual with him. Fantastic artwork on there. It's actually a very, very reminiscent of the IDW style artwork, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Just flicking through, you've got very, very straightforward instructions, step by step, how to do left, right, and centre. And if we go on the back, like we did with the Soundwave and some of the previous Masterpiece figures, we've got how he has developed. I love that. Love that. How he's developed through time and what other forms he has taken. I mean, to go from the Fall of Cybertron Magnus to this. Wow, what a difference. And of course, we have the other Masterpieces available in the Autobot line. We also get a card with Magnus, with the same box artwork on the back there. I have no idea what is what on the back here. Maybe somebody can help me out, but he ranks pretty highly, doesn't he? Then again, he is a city commander. Just on the other side there, we've got that same artwork. I mean, this is a really, really nice card. Really, really nice. I actually think they've upped their games slightly with the artwork as well. Whether they've got a different artist, I'm not sure, but it looks phenomenal. Now, like the other Masterpiece figures, he does come in this really nice plastic clamshell, which holds everything together properly. We see the gun, the mask, we see Daniel and Spike over on the left-hand side here. And we have the other closed fist, and then we have Magnus. First impressions, guys, this guy is a complete lump. He feels better than any other Masterpiece figure I have ever owned. He is robust, he's beefy, and he weighs an absolute ton. And here he is, guys. Holy cow bags. He is fantastic. I absolutely love him. He is full of die-cast goodness as well. He's got die-cast knees, die-cast feet. He's just so weighty. I don't think any of the pictures we've seen of him yet have really done him justice. He is an incredible, absolutely incredible looking figure. I'm going to have these pointed upwards. I think I prefer them upwards. I love it. I absolutely love it. What an outstanding... They've really upped their game. I know I said it with the Combiner Wars stuff they've been releasing, but as far as masterpieces go, this is a huge step up, even, in my opinion, from the likes of MP-10. Really, really impressed by this guy. Just taking a closer look at that head, that is a very, very G1 accurate head there. Really, really like that. It's got a great range of movement as well. You can look down, that's a substantial distance there, isn't it? And you can look all the way up. I mean, who is he going to be looking up to? I mean, if the rumours are true about the Masterpiece Unicron, yes, he'll probably be looking up to him. Left and right, no hindrance there at all. Probably one of the best range of movements we've had from Masterpiece head. Now, he doesn't have as much articulation as some of the more recent Masterpiece figures, but there is enough there to keep us going and to keep us all happy. He has this kind of swivel breast point here that kind of goes into the arms, almost like a breaststroke thing going on there, which means he can have a much better range of movement on these shoulders. They kind of come out, up, down, left and right. There is a swivel underneath the elbow there. Yeah, it's not a great range of movement going upwards there. There's not a huge amount of play, but it's enough. He's not going to be able to hold his arms up so these kind of top bits point up and touch together, but there is still quite a good range of movement there. And like I said, there's a swivel at the elbow. There's a gloriously clicky elbow ratchet there. Oh, it's fantastic. And if we go down to the hands themselves, they open up, he says. Come on, out you come. There we go. Let's see if we can get our fingers in there. There we go. Open up his hands. They're on a single pin. They look like they're individually articulated, but they're not. It's just the finger can curl round. And let's say they are on a pin there. But you've got a fairly nice range of movement on there. You've got a swivel on there as well. So he can, yeah. And it does rotate really nicely. Now, nothing on the waist. Unfortunately, just due to the transformation of this guy, there is no waist swivel at all. I was kind of bummed by that. I was really looking forward to having him kind of swiveling round, but having had a good play with this guy for the last hour or so, there is a great deal of posability, and you can get him in some cracking poses, and because of the range of movement on the legs, etc., it does kind of counterbalance the lack of waist. As to the legs, man, they are heavy. They can click forward, that much, back, that much. You can move this side skirt piece section up so we can get a nice outward motion like so. Man, these are so heavy, but nothing's moving. The joints are so tight that they work incredibly well. There is no rotation at the upper knees. I originally thought there was rotation there, which would have been nice, but the actual thigh itself does rotate quite nicely. And this leg itself, such a big chunk of metal. You do have a nice pivot there on the foot, so we can get him in a nice wide stance. Nothing on the toes. It does kind of bend forward slightly, but then again you're pulling the mechanism away from the leg. But it just feels so junky and so tight. Gun that comes with Magnus, it's pretty much the same as every other Masterpiece gun. You've got these two pegs. I know he had a dark gun in the anime, I think, didn't he, in the cartoon? But his original gun was white, wasn't it? I was kind of expecting them to give us a white gun, but I guess having it this dark colour can kind of bring out the detail slightly better, and I suppose they're trying to keep everybody happy, aren't they? So we just plug that in. It slides in. That pegs in really, really nicely. I'm not going to lie, that is as tight as you're going to get. That is fantastic. That isn't going anywhere at all. He just looks really, really dominating, and it's just such a big, chunky figure. He is going to fill up my Masterpiece shelf. Now, taking a 360-degree look at Magnus, you can see he's not entirely perfect. This butt flap, I would have liked it if they could somehow engineer that to fold up and cover up the back section of Magnus. But yeah, unfortunately, it's designed to kind of just hang there. I mean, it came out of the box like that. It does kind of look a little bit like a diaper. I don't know. It's one of those things. I think with the engineering and the transformation that they've done with this guy, I think it's such a small thing, and it is going to be on the back of the shelf, and you're not going to see it. But I would like it to fold up and flip and cover up this back section. But you know, as far as masterpieces go, this guy ticks a heck of a lot of boxes. Taking a look at the colour of Magnus, a few people have kicked up saying it's not G1 coloured. No, it's not, but like I say, it's true to the cartoon, and that's that cartoon blue, which I think works. Yes, the G1 toy was a very, very kind of greeny blue, almost turquoise-ish, and I think they made the right decision going for the cartoon accuracy. I love the Masterpiece Autobot logo on here. It's clear, it's concise, and it works. No need for any stickers there. There is a few stress marks, kind of where they put the sprues off. Would have expected a little bit better from Takara, to be honest. There's just the markings there, and it's a little bit sloppy. No doubt Repro Labels or somebody like that will come up with just a blue sticker that can go over that, but really, should we have to? Again, the red is a nice application on there, although on the bottom of the white section there, as you can see, if I put my finger behind it, they haven't quite gone to the edges. Underneath here, it's a really, really nice colour. This, I'm sure it's meant to be up the other way. That is the only way it's on there. That's kind of one fixed piece. I was just convinced that as a child growing up, this was facing upwards. It might just be me. I may have completely got at the wrong end of the stick, but that's how I saw it. All in all, the paint applications that are there are somewhat minimal, but they are well done, and they've done a pretty nice job. Let's take a look at the accessories which come with Magnus. You've got these two matrix yielding fists. Basically, the matrix, because it's so small, and these guys' fists are so big, it just slots in to these hands. These are made of a more rubbery kind of plastic, and they just pop on and off with a ball joint on the hands. You just give the hand a bit of a pull and pull it off, and it's just on a ball jointed peg. They're okay. I mean, I'm never going to have him holding up the matrix, but it's a nice little touch, I think. We get the additional head, which is that kind of screaming face. It's certainly different, isn't it? It's like, I'll show you how to change that over shortly. And we also get the Spike and Daniel figures, which, oh dear, Takara. One, paint eyes on your figures, please. These have no eyes. No eyes. And what have you done with his hips? His hips don't lie. I mean, compared to the MP-10's Spike, which, I mean, these guys are about the same sort of age, so yes, it's a good scale they've got going on there, and obviously he then becomes him. But, man, what have you done? Oh, poor Daniel. Of course, these are designed to flip up, like so. Yep, see, this has happened to me a couple of times now playing with him. His leg does have the tendency to pop off at the knee. Glad that happened on camera. So just be careful, guys, because that isn't on there overly brilliantly. There we go, that's back on. Yeah, they just bend down, and you can just put the arms out. There's no articulation on the arms. There's nothing on the head either. And they just sit in the cab, and they can drive. Well, not Daniel, because he's like a child. Spike will drive. He's got a license. Now, changing over Magnus's face is pretty straightforward. Just grab the back of the head, and it basically just pulls off. It's quite snugly put on there, but it's just a clip. And then we can look around here, and that looks very much to me like a really nice nod to the G1 Prime, White Prime head, which obviously the Magnus used to be. It used to be like a White Prime on a G1, on a Magnus shell, sorry. And then if you look at the back of the Magnus head, there's just a plate. It just slides out like so. Pop that up. And then we bring the screaming faceplate in. That slides back down like so. And Decepticons! And just slide that back on and click that back into place. And there we have a Magnus screaming head. I really wish they'd kept the really violent death of Magnus in the Transformers movie. He was basically pulled apart. He was horse-drawn and quartered by the sweeps. Yeah, evil. Here he is for a quick robot-sized scale comparison with some of his MP comrades. He fits in really, really well. That's really good scaling, in my opinion. Just can't believe how far they've come, giving us the MP Rodimus, which I daren't transform. He's standing up, which is okay. He can stay like that. To Magnus, it's such a huge step forward. Really, really liking it. And just look at how tiny Bumblebee is. And here he is with some more Magnus's Magni. Of course, we have his nearest rival here, which is, of course, the Citizen Stack from KFC EAVI range. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Citizen Stack, and articulation-wise, he actually blows the MP Magnus out of the water. Magnus has got a good number of articulation, but the range of movement is somewhat better on the Citizen Stack. I think it's just basically your preference. I'm going to be keeping both. I've also got die stacks, which is going to look fantastic next to the MP Magnus. But yes, they all look really, really good. It is just entirely your personal preference. Of course, we have the Energon Ultra Magnus, and we have the poor little G1 Ultra Magnus at the back there. Wow, these toys have come a long way. Now, Magnus's chest section does, of course, open to wield the Matrix, pretty much identical to what it did in the movie. Just pops up, and then these side windows, just open those up, and look at the gorgeous detailing on the inside there. I've got the Rodimus Matrix here because Prime's is in Prime. So we'll just pop that in. He says, it's such a fiddly little Matrix, isn't it? There's a couple of grooves there that's meant to just sit in there, isn't it? Like so. Really does look nice. And we can just close that up. Like so. And put that back down. There we go. I'm just a soldier. If you take a look at the back of Magnus, you've got this flap that folds down. You can then bring in the additional faceplate, which can just pop on there like so. And you can flip that over and back, and that stores nicely out of the way. I haven't found a location yet to store the other fists though. But other than that, everything does store away nicely. And of course, let's not forget he does have shoulder launchers. Let's bring those down, and unfortunately they don't fire, but these do pull out like so. It would have been nice if we'd had a spring-loaded mechanism in there, I think, but either way, it is nice to have missiles which actually on themselves are on a really, really nice point of articulation. You can get them in pretty much any and every pose. So yeah, that's a bit of defense there. Now, let's get Magnus all transformified. So, first thing you want to do is you want to rotate his head 180 degrees. So you've got this section facing forwards. If you then come down to the arms, you want to straighten those off. And these sections here, they untab, and with the fist closed, they then go back down and all the way forwards like so. And then they're going to tab in together like this. You then come round to this top section here, pop this cap off like so, and then move it down and around, and it plugs back into itself like so. Come round to these shoulder missiles, flip this section down, rotate it around, and have those down the side of the arm like so. Come round to the back, you need to untab this section here, which is tabbed on by this tab here and here. This section here now expands. You want to expand that down, and you want to pull these sections forward like so. And once they're at the front here, you want to just plug those back in again like so. Flip this back section down like this, so that's back down, and you grab this undercab section, and what we're going to do, we're going to pull this whole section forwards, and this itself is going to fold outwards. So what we need to do, we need to bring the back section down as well. Just give that a wiggle and pull that forward. It's on a rocking hinge, and this whole section here is now going to form the front of the cab. Bring that up and then pull the lid down over the top. Coming round to this side of the body, you need to lift this section up by grabbing it underneath the stomach here, and as you lift it up, it's on a rocking hinge just on the top here. You see that hinge? It kind of rocks to and from, and as it's forward, you can lift this section up like so, and then you can bring this cab section up and over, and that's going to form the back of the cab. Just tab that all in together. The lid just presses on, like he says, like so. To transform the arms, you want to just come around, unplug this, and bring it around to the outer peg, and peg that back in again. And this section here actually rotates on itself, just slightly prying these sections apart with your fingers. You can then rotate this section all the way up, and then bring this section all the way back down again so they're facing downwards. You can unplug the waist section, fold that up, and that's going to push and peg up on here. Oh, even all this is die cast as well. No wonder it's so heavy. Taking a look at the back of the cab, we can rotate the smokestacks round. Let's rotate, rotate, rotate. Boom. One smokestack, and again with this side, rotate, rotate, rotate. Boom. The underside of the leg, you want to just pull that section down. Did it on both sides, and with this foot section here, you can just rotate this up and round like so, and then slide that back down, and now we've got the wheels. Now I'm not going to lie, the leg transformation I think is a fantastic piece. You want to move this up on another gorgeous clicking joint, and then this flappy down under section there, that's going to rotate round and just click into place, and as you can see, that is going to form the sides of the trailer. God, this is so heavy. Now time to tag the legs together. There's a tab just here, and there's one again at the bottom, so just bring those in and plug that in. And again at the bottom, that is really, really nice and secure. And we're then going to bring the shoulders around like so, just to move the missile up and out of the way. I'm trying to get all of this on camera. It's so big. Bring those all the way around, and again they're going to tab together just like so. The gun, fold the handle up, and just before we pop the rest of these arms together, there's these small circular and rectangular sections on either side. The gun facing this way pegs into those on this side and on this side. It's a little bit fiddly because you have to line it up, and then we can peg the rest of these arms together and peg them in over here as well, like so. And then they're going to peg into the top of the trailer like this, and the same on the other side like this. Everything holds together nice and securely. Just taking a look at these front cannons, make sure the arms are square, and this cannon would actually plug in to the front on section there. You can then rotate this round, spin it around, and that's going to store on the side like so. And if you look underneath here, you've got these wheels. Just flip those out. He says they're tabbed in underneath. Come on, out you come. There we go, it's one. And same with this side, two. And there we have the cab. That's now freed up that section as well, so we have pivot on Magnus's cab. These side panels, you want to extend those. Now when these sections are fully extended, they tab in here and here. If you're having any trouble lining this section up at all, it probably means your legs aren't quite right. Just give them a little tap on the back there, just to bend the knee up slightly. There is a slight slope for this to line up correctly, and once it does, it just pegs in beautifully like so. And lastly, it's the little finishing touches, like you flicking the wing mirrors out. And if we come along to the side panel here, this section here, if you press the button on top, you can then pull, he says, there we go, this section comes down like so. just filling in that blank gap. Now, let's not forget Spike and Daniel. To get those guys in, you just want to lift up the top of the cab, just gripping it at the back there, just a peg, pull that up. And there's two little seats on the front here. I don't know if you'll be able to see those, just there. We can then bring in Daniel and just pop him in. Come on, in you go. Pop him in there. It's not perfect. But the idea is to get the red peg between both of their legs so they won't move around and fall out. Let's just put that back down and push this back together. And there they are. There they are in the cab. And another nice little trick that they've included, push the white section in and you can detach the Magnus cab. Because it's Magnus, of course, we do have a car carrier function, so we can bring this down, bring our masterpiece car bots in, and if we pop this off here, this section can, of course, drop down, and then we can get our Autobots up onto that next level. Let's pop that back up, and let's see what he looks like with some of his Autobot comrades riding him. I mean, look at that. That looks fantastic. I mean, there's actually grooves just here. It's so basically once he's on, he's designed not to kind of move around. It's kind of just locks the tyres in. And I know that's little things like that. That and the fact that he comes with rubber wheels. I mean, when was the last time we had a masterpiece figure with rubber wheels? It's really, really nice. There's little touches like that that makes Takara what it is and makes that the overall quality of a figure that much better. I really, really love this figure. I can't honestly express enough how much of a great figure they've made. I'm really, really looking forward to Star Saber, and if the plastic quality, the build quality, and the overall engineering and design of this guy is anything to go by, it's going to be incredible. And here are my Magnus sizes, all in Autobot carrier mode. Of course, we've got the Energon, we've got the original poor little G1 Magnus, no tyres left on there at all, and he's fallen apart, but hey, I've had him since I was a kid, and I used to bash my toys. Bad, Ben, bad. MP and Stacks. I love the MP Magnus, I'm sorry, but it knocks the others out of the park, hands down. It's a glorious figure, and it's solid, it holds together really well. I mean, the cab doesn't flop. It's just an amazing, amazing piece of kit. Takara have outdone themselves. And here he is with the MP10 cab. I really do think they've outdone themselves, making everything compact so well and form such a glorious cab. I think these two look absolutely amazing together. I mean, it is a shame that the connectivity between these two are slightly different, so I can't have Prime carrying the Magnus carrier and vice versa, Magnus can't carry Prime's trailer. But all in all, what a fantastic figure. If you like the video, please feel free to like it up and subscribe. And if you click through to my Facebook page, the link is in the description below, I'll be uploading lots of pictures of Magnus, lots of close-ups so you can see just how detailed and how highly accurate this guy is. Obviously, if there's any requests for pictures, please just let me know. I do have a fairly comprehensive masterpiece gallery, and I can kind of do some comparison shots for you if it helps you at all. Just send me a PM on my page, which is Benscollectables, and that's on Facebook, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you click through and order this guy from Robot Kingdom. He will be dispatched out to you on the 27th of December. And for myself and Masterpiece MP-22 Ultra Magnus, goodbye.